The whole Nintendo Switch thing had me really bothered tonight. Yeah, I know, stupid thing to be bothered about, but here I am. Like, how the hell... It was just really interesting to watch, because how the hell could they screw up something that everybody was expecting and really wanting this badly, with how it was teased and teased for like 2 fucking years. Everybody waiting for them to either do something with the Wii U or just scrap it and come out with something new. And when they finally did, it was this, well, rather poor fucking presentation. Another thing that bugs me is, this is the thing I decided to test out my new mic with. Yay. Like, all that positive reaction that you got from the reveal trailer a few months ago, everybody's like saying, oh wow, this looks like a brand new great thing. Look, you can see Skyrim on it. And this just kind of like kicked it in the nuts by giving this paltry thing. It started out saying that how they were going to detail the hardware and the software. And fine. I mean, everybody was curious about the hardware anyway, so why the hell not? But then they just started going off about the Joy-Cons mostly, and they just kept going on about them and how they were using them. Look at all the buttons on them. It's basically, each one was essentially a analog stick, 4 buttons and 2 shoulder buttons. Fine. Then they had accelerometers. They were essentially micro, Wiimotes with joysticks on them. This is fine. You get 2 of them. Each one includes 2. You have 2 controllers right off the bat to play a bunch of games with your people. How many times have any console been able to say that? However, it just became very apparent that they weren't showing what you could do with them. Like that's where it really got me. For 20 minutes they went on just about accessories and how you can lounge around with these damn things. Don't get me wrong, I like the Joy-Cons. I really do like them. And I can't wait to actually use them and see how they do. But they seem to be lacking that one thing to show us what to do with them. I guess we should go on about the price first. The price I thought was fine. I think $250 would be a better price point to get them have a greater foothold from the start. But $300, I guess, it is fine for it. Doesn't really bother me. Although it kind of just completely blew all the fucking rumors everybody's been saying out of the water. Everybody was saying it's going to be $250, $250. Oh, but combine that with the announcement of the online services. Nobody would be mad if they were doing this, but they kind of didn't tell you the benefits of using it. They just said, we're going to have an online service. You're going to be able to play multiplayer, and you're going to pay us for it. That was about it. But you found out after the conference, by actually having to go to their site and look at what the thing is, they have other benefits. Not many. One of them was like, you can play a Super Nintendo or an NES game for the month you paid. That's it. Not much else. Oh, and voice chat and everything else. Everything else just comes like base with any online thing, but without any of the frills that like Xbox Live or PSN has. And yeah, I know that seems like nothing, and it really is, but it's like these are all things that are going against how this thing is going to be sold. And that's what's really going to kill it. Like, when they finally started getting into the games, when they finally started getting into the software, the first thing they announced was 1-2 Switch. Which basically is something that could be played with the fucking... Without even the console. You just get a bottle of booze, 2 ping pong paddles, and a stopwatch. You could play the fucking game. From how they exampled it anyway. I don't know. It would have been a great... It looks fun. I hate saying that. It looks fun. Because it would be a great pack-in title to, as a tech demo to show off what the Joy-Cons can do and what you can do with this console. but I guarantee there will not. It's already announced that they're not going to have it as a pack-in. You're going to have to go out and buy this game. I can't see anybody actually going out to buy this game. It's definitely not something that you're going to want to buy the fucking thing, the Nintendo Switch for. It was the same thing happened with Nintendo. I remember the same thing happening with Nintendo Land with the Wii U. Nintendo Land actually looked like a full game that looked really fun, and it was even more fun if you could get more people to play. And it was just that. It was supposed to be like a big tech demo for the Wii U. How to use the gamepad, what you can do with it, what you can expect from other games to do with it, and just have a good time playing it. But it was a pack-in if you paid $50 extra. And then it stopped being a pack-in bundle. And then you had to actually go out and buy it separately. It should have just been a tech demo. It really should have, like with Wii Sports. Like, there was absolutely no reason for it. And then, oh man, I'm reading off some notes I took. That's why I'm just here and there. Another game that's coming is ARMS, which looks absolutely fun. But again, it looks like another tech demo type game. Something to showcase off the Joy-Con, but instead it's going to be a full $60 game. I could see people buying that, but I can't see people buying the console for that. And that's where it gets troublesome. It really does look fun. You can curve your punches and stretch it out. It's basically a really, really fancy Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and you just bam, bam, bam. Fine. Really, really fun. Really fun. You still can't see anybody fucking buying that, buying the Switch just for that. Oh, God. Splatoon 2. That was a good... no, that one I could see people buying the Switch for. But that's not coming till summer. That's a big problem. And God bless the guy who came out on stage fully dressed up. He looked all so excited, trying to get everybody excited with it. And the translator for him is just so fucking monotone. I swear they should have just given these people scripts for this so they could get a little more into it and make everybody else get into it a little bit. It was just really, really sad. Going back to ARMS, I really do expect, a repeat of what happened with the original Wii, with all these controllers going flying everywhere to people's faces and through their TVs. I really expect this. I guess I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping for those stories. Yeah. What next we have? Yeah. These translators are fucking horrible. But they made it funny. I'll give it. Oh. Another thing. Mario. They announced a new Mario game. Mario Odyssey. Unfortunately, the entire time I'm watching this, especially with the real world settings, I kept getting this Sonic 06 vibe. And definitely not in a good way. Definitely in a way that says, well, this is going to go horribly with every single person. It looked like the real world settings looked like it came out of fucking Sega Dreamcast. It did. It looked like you were playing like the city stage in Sonic Adventure or some shit. And then no Miyamoto to announce the game. That was shocking. Now, once again, when is this game coming out? Not during the launch, not even during the first couple months. Holiday 2017. So when's the system coming out? March 3rd. When's the game coming? When's Mario? No Mario title at launch. That's troubling. Same thing happened with the Wii U. Really can't say much else about that. Just like, that's just not a good sign. It's not going to help make any sales. What's the next one? Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Of course, that looks good. It's just a JRPG, though, so a niche audience, and it's not like Final Fantasy big or anything. Looks fine, but no announcement when the hell that's supposed to be out. But that's kind of the recurring theme here. When I'm just going off about that, there's like 4 fucking games coming out for it at the launch, and of course I'm only interested in one of them. Zelda, duh. But that right there is what's gonna make sure that people do not buy the system. It's only gonna be one thing, and the one game that is gonna draw most people in it's also coming out for the fucking Wii U. That's the weird part, is that they didn't cancel the Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. I don't think they're advertising it, but that they just haven't canceled it. So the only thing that should be an exclusive isn't. And everybody was like, well, what's the matter if there's no? Well, I would like to have the new Nintendo system, because every time they always get these great games. But because they don't do anything to sell the system, we're not going to fucking get any more games for the damn things. So it's already going to be a dead in the water as soon as it comes out. And that's what makes it so bad. They just kept saying, we've got 80 games coming in development. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing if A, we don't know what most of these games are, and B, we have absolutely no ETA when these games are actually going to be out. So who the hell's going to buy a system with no games? Nobody. Except for, 10 years from now, and the collectors are like, oh, this was a rare piece of shit. And when he kept bringing out the developers that for these developing games, he just said, we are developing game. Like the guy from Sega, he was, I feel bad, he just so unfortunately came out, we are making a game for the Wii. He looked like he was if you've ever seen a No Mask, just look that up. NOH mask. It's a Japanese traditional mask, and the guy had a face that looked just like one. It was I can't get the image out of my head. And then Todd Howard came out. He said, basically, we've just ported Skyrim to the Switch. We did Jack. It's NVIDIA hardware. We didn't really need to program shit. It's on there. And, oh, Jesus, I think this is finally the year that Suda51 loses all his cult credit. His cool, semi-indie, weird developer status. And I'm basing this merely on how disappointed I was over the game Let It Die on the PS4. And the fact that the guy translating for him just completely gave up. I think he announced another No More Heroes game. I think. I don't quote me on that. They just showed a picture of the main character from that one, and that was about it. And then when the translator finally did start picking up again, he started going off about how he was learning from a bunch of indie developers, and all I could take away from that were microtransactions are awesome. So then FIFA was announced. I was like, the fuck do I care? What the fuck does most people care? I mean, sure, the European market, but if you're not going to sell the fucking console with anything else, who the fuck? They're just going to get FIFA on something else. Then towards the end of this, they just kind of went on about like all the kinds of accessories, and you could buy the Joy-Con in different colors, and they didn't announce any prices for these fucking things because I looked into it. If you buy you could buy a left and a right Joy-Con individually for fucking $40, $50 a piece. You could buy the set for $80, and then you could buy the set with the middle thing that holds them together to make the whole controller for like $110. It's insane. Hell, even their Pro controller is $70, and they didn't announce this. You had to actually go look on the site for this. And they just went on about these accessories, telling you, how you could slag and lay and do this and that. And look, it comes with 2 different colors. And then they finally put Reggie on. Reggie Fils-Aimé, the guy, president of Nintendo of America, the man who they basically they've had in front of the screen ever since Iwata was on there, since the Wii days, and the one man who could sell this bullshit, and they won't let him. He's on there for like 30 seconds. He announces Miyamoto. Miyamoto announces Aonuma, and then they show the Breath of the Wild trailer. Breath of the Wild trailer, as good as it was, doesn't make up for the whole of the fucking presentation. Oh, man. That still brings me back to my other point. an earlier point about like how Miyamoto wasn't there for the Mario. This is a surprise hell to me. Miyamoto, the father of Mario, he wasn't even like mentioned for the Mario Odyssey, and it's like maybe like are they going to fire Miyamoto? Are they finally going to make him retire? Is he just not getting on with the new board now that Iwata died? And it's like, I'm not saying that's necessarily a good or bad thing. I'm just like, wow, that's surprising. And then they cut back to whatever the hell the president of Nintendo is. I can't even remember his name. He just doesn't stick out. He looks like a generic Japanese businessman, number 482. Little bald man standing. Thank you. Yes, thank you. God, he looks like he came out of looks like he came out of a fucking 80s movie. That's how generic. That's like how much of a generic Japanese businessman he looks. Oh man, but and here's why it's like this big fuck up. The Nintendo Switch as it is, and don't get me wrong, I will probably do another one of these tomorrow. Another rant tomorrow after I watch the Treehouse Direct, or whatever the hell they do with that. See if they actually rectify any of this crap. But like I said, Breath of the Wild isn't even exclusive to the Switch. A lot of people bought Wii U's just for the next Zelda game. I got mine specifically for that. Well, that and all the other games that I have already. But I was waiting for the new Zelda game. A lot of people bought them expecting it because screw Metroid. Like Nintendo basically says, screw Metroid. Mario's hit or miss, but so many people would have bought the damn thing just for a new Zelda game. And what did they do? They came out with 2 HD re-releases while we're still expecting it. I don't know. I'm going to be a nerd and say, yeah, the Breath of the Wild. I really enjoyed the Breath of the Wild trailer. I just... It didn't make up for it. It just was a really, really good trailer. Overall, this felt like a rather dour presentation, and not at all like Nintendo's usual affair with these things, where they actually try to bring the energy up and make it seem like a fun thing. Instead, it was just business people telling you about their product. And especially since this was something that everybody I've known has been like excited about, waiting to see what Nintendo does with this new thing, since the Wii U failed so hard, so fast. Like 2 years ago, we all knew, yeah, the Wii U's done. They're going to come out with a few games while they're working on their new console, but that's about it. And this was supposed to be the big moment where they reveal everything, and instead, they left out a lot of key information. Especially why anybody would really want to buy the Nintendo Switch. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents about it. I'm going to slap this over some random gameplay footage and put this up on my channel for nobody to watch. That's right. While I'm drinking my goddamn tea. Y'all have a good night.